this is Lisa from the Photo Forum, and we're live from Petrocelli Studio. And I am with Mike from Map Graphics today. He is one of our local photographers, been around for a long time. And Mike, I see your stuff all over Instagram and Facebook. You are really, you're kind of eclectic with your style. Like, I've seen you do a little bit of everything. Tell me about how you got started and what you like, what genres you like to photograph.
So my business name is MAP Graphics. I've had it officially open since 2011.
It took me a while to figure out what that was.
Yeah.
And it's your initials.
It's my initials.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was like, Map.
Yep. So yes, I started in 2011, put it on paper because I was still working yet. 2012 and 2013, somebody I know had turned me on to the contract for Albany, the city of Albany, to shoot Albany events. So that's the Tulip Festival, the press conference prior to the Tulip Festival to introduce the finalists, all the 11.5s, jazz.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, the Jazz Festival, the Father's Day, the whole summer. You shoot it all. It's all one contract. You don't make much money, but you get your name out there.
Yeah.
So it worked.
Plus, you meet a lot of interesting people, too.
I met so many incredible, because not for anything, but lately I'm not really interested in a lot of the artists they have, but back then, Patti Smythe, Lee Brice was just coming into making his own music because he was a writer for like Garth Brooks and all the other. So he decided, I'm going to do my own thing. And he and I actually, I would say 2 or 3 times a year, we'll message back and forth. How you doing?
Oh, cool.
He's so cool. Nice
Maybe
guy.
You can get him on the show, huh?
But I don't know if he comes up this way. But as far as genres go, so I was doing that. There was a guy, Mitch, that always shoots. He's always stayed at the railing thing. So obviously I'm on the inside, he's on the outside. So we got to be friends. And he says to me one day, he goes, hey, you ever shoot fashion? And I was like, no, I'm kind of new to this. So I haven't gotten into that yet. Yeah, I do a lot of it now. So he was like, well, listen, this is a little show. A girl put together some of her own fashion. She's got like 5 miles, models. We're going to be at a bar downtown. There's going to be like 7 people there. You want to go? I'm like, yeah, all right, bring your flash and your camera. It's all you're going to need. Okay. I went, I did, we had a blast. I'm still shooting one of those models. Her name is Liz, from back then, which is hysterical. And the girl who was the designer, I'm still friends with her yet too. So that kind of started.
Do you shoot a lot of the same models over and over again, or?
I do. I try not to, because I try to put it out there to get new faces. But I do have a lot of models that do come to me that want to do things, and they're like, yeah, listen, I want to shoot this, I want to shoot that, I need this for this magazine, or I need this for this, or whatever, new portfolio thing, because I shoot, from being into the model world, I found out that models need a portfolio. So they need to come in with no makeup, no hair done, nothing, in black yoga pants and a black bodysuit. And I take 4 directions: face me, face left, face right, face back, and that's it. Then they do hair and makeup.
That's for like their
portfolio, because when they do a casting, especially when the virtual castings started, the director and the designer of fashion shows, let's say Manhattan, don't want to see you all done up. They want to see, what do you look like without anything, because they know what they can put on you. They know what wigs they can put on you. They know what makeup will work with you, which clothes they make will work with you.
Well, that's a really good tip for the models out there, so because they think that they need to show themselves all done up all the time.
Nope. If there's any models out there that are watching this, call me. Even if you don't do a portfolio thing with me, call me anyway, because I will still give you the help.
Mike's really helpful with everything.
I have no problem with that. I have no problem with helping people out.
Do you photograph primarily models these days, or?
I don't want to say I do, because I have a lot of stuff just left in the back room there. I left it there when I hurt my shoulder. I'm actually taking it out this month. A buddy of mine offered me his cafe to do an art show, so I'm going to hang all that.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So I do art shows. So I have waterfall stuff, and I have a really cool picture of the Palace Theater that I took that's in there. That's large. That's like 40. I think it's 46 by 38. It's big. I have a lighthouse in there. That's also one of those 46 by 38 frames.
I find that for the photographers looking to sell things,
Yes.
that landscape and architecture,
Oh, yeah.
things like that, they're able to sell on their web pages or
Yes.
their business pages
Right.
and websites and stuff a whole lot easier than. So that's like something really cool to kind of fill in your gaps
It
with.
is. It's
You
fun.
know, to be able to have something to sell.
Yep.
You know, not just sessions.
Right.
You know.
And then I shoot a lot of other stuff. A million years ago, when Dino kind of let me hang out here when I was on my days off and stuff. I used to come in, and I was basically move things around guy. So that got me into shooting. I have people come to me to shoot bikes, cars, different things like that.
This sure is the studio
this
for
is the
that.
place
Anybody looking for space to shoot motorcycles or small
Or-
vehicles, you want to hook up with Dino Petroselli
Yep.
because this place is killer.
And I'll tell
that.
you, who uses this place a lot too, and a lot of people don't think about it, but they want the white background because then they can do whatever they want behind it. Is
Yeah.
these video guys.
Yeah,
So if you have any musicians out there, music video stuff, you shoot it here.
yeah,
Your editors can easily take the white out and put your background in, which
Yeah.
is cool.
very cool. Do you shoot a lot of bands?
I
Still?
do shoot.
I mean, I know
Yes,
you did before, but
I do shoot quite a few bands, and I'll go out and shoot location. I'll shoot them here, or I'll shoot them while they're playing out at places and stuff. Sometimes it's for work. Sometimes it's just for me.
I find outdoor photography to be a little. I find
Mhm.
it hard for me.
Oh, do you?
I'm more of a studio photographer.
Yes.
I like to control my light.
Oh, yeah.
And,
Absolutely.
shooting outdoors, you just never know what you're
People
going to. I
don't
took someone
understand.
down to that. Mike was kind enough to show me a really cool spot in the area to
yeah.
photograph.
It's awesome.
And I took a model down there last week, and it was nice out when we left, but didn't it stinking pour? It
Oh, did it
poured
really?
as soon as we got there.
And you're not even a half a mile down the
Oh
road.
my God, it
That's
was
terrible.
so funny. But she was such a good sport about
Yeah.
it. And we just kind of went with it. It was that kind of a shoot anyway. So the rain just really added to it. And once I got them up into my computer
Yep.
and started editing, I was like, oh, yeah, these are just wicked.
Oh, yeah. They do come out
But,
good because you get that different ambiance because of the dark stuff.
Yeah. You just never know
Nope.
what you're going to get when you photograph outside.
That's like when I shoot outside. So I did a thing for a young lady who does jewelry, earrings, necklaces, bracelets. So she wanted.
Oh, I think I saw that.
Did you
There's
see
some
some
of
of
those
it?
photos, yeah.
So she wanted some of it done, or she wanted all of it done in architecture. She didn't want woods and that stuff. So we went downtown, shot around the buildings.
Cool.
And it was a beautiful day, sunny out. And even when I'm outdoors shooting, I use my flash. And people are like, "Why is your flash going off?" And I'm like,
I do
"Because
too.
I need it." Yeah.
I
Well,
do
they
too.
don't realize that we're not using it to light the model. We're
Mhm.
using it to kill that shadow on the right
Yeah.
side of their face,
Yeah,
so we can even their lighting out.
yeah.
And when I show it to my models, they're like, "I would have never thought of that." And I'm like, "Well, that's why you stand there and I stand here." We always laugh,
Right. Yeah.
But
It's kind of
still-
hard to drag around the white boards and the reflectors and all that stuff. So like having your little flash and
Yep.
having somebody to conveniently even hold it while you're
Well, that's good too. And
Yeah.
I have a nice, very portable set of smaller, probably 2 foot by 3 foot soft boxes that fold up flat. So they're
nice.
always in the back of my car with the set of stands and the little mount thing. And so my flash literally goes into the little mount thing in the back. And so I have 4 flashes, so I can set up 4 of them if I want. But those are nice to have because now I can use those and I can shoot from wherever I want and stay further back, and I
Right.
still can have them so it's killing the shadows.
right. What kind of equipment are you using these days aside from
I'm a
that?
Sony shooter.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's
Always
different.
have been.
Huh.
I started out in the 70s on Minolta cameras, 35 millimeter.
Mhm.
And then when I decided to do this, I had other job offers when I was getting ready to retire. And when I started doing this, I was like, So I saw a Sony camera online probably eBay, I think it was, with 2 lenses, a flash, a bag. I think it was like $350 for the whole setup. And I was like, you know what? I can do that to see if, because I was scared of the digital thing.
Yeah.
Because I hadn't shot.
Well, that was new to a lot of
a
us.
million years. And I was like,
Yeah.
So I figured, all right, let me do this.
What a
I can always
game
get my money
changer
back
it was,
out.
though, huh?
Now, instead of shooting 24 shots and hoping you get 3 good ones,
Yeah.
you shoot and then look at the back of the camera. Don't move. All right, now turn your head to the left and drop your chin. All right, good.
Right.
And I love that part of it.
Yeah, man, the digital age.
Reviewing of your photos afterwards is So I have Sony. I've graduated to mirrorless over the last few years. In fact, I just sold my Monster DSLR about a year and a half ago to a girl who's doing an amazing job with it. She became my little muse. So every week I get 2 or 3 phone calls and she puts me on video call. And then she's like, all right, how do we do this? How do we do that? How do we do this? How do we do that? And she'll call me when she's in front of Facebook or Photoshop. And she'll be like, what do I do to get that out of there? What do I do to get that out of there? I'm like, all right, do this. And it's cool because it's like a virtual lesson.
Yeah. And
she's such an incredible little student, let's call her, because she's new to photography-ish. And she's so fun because she'll be like, all right, hold on. And then she puts the phone down and I can hear her writing. And then she'll pick the phone
taking
up,
notes.
and then she takes notes. She applies.
Wonderful.
Then she'll close the picture, reopen the original picture, and then start from scratch to go back through everything and make it fresh in her mind. And she's very, very good. She actually just got her own little cover.
These days, a lot of the older photographers are so willing to help some of the young people coming
absolutely.
in. Myself as well. I had someone call me one time and say, hey, can I work with you? Can I just like hang around? And I was like, yeah, I can always use extra hands at the studio, and she's a wonderful photographer. I didn't have that when I got into it. Like nobody wanted to help anybody back then. It was all like, I don't know. You couldn't even, well, I guess because of social media too.
Maybe.
So nowadays you can find other photographers, I think, so much easier than back then. I didn't know anyone. I mean, I'm talking, early 80s.
Oh, yeah.
How did you even find another photographer?
My thing now is when people ask me for help, my outlook on it is, and not for any reason, you are never going to be my competition.
Right.
Yeah. You and I could stand next to each other and shoot a tree.
Yeah.
And by the time we get done doing our own editing of it, it's a total different shot.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you're not going to be my competition, but if I could share some knowledge that I may have or little tips of the trade or whatever to help you so you don't have to try and find that way yourself and you can do it quickly. And I tell people that too. In fact, the little one that has my camera, I told her the same thing. She's like, oh, what if I need help? I said, look, I'll teach you whatever you need to know. Whatever you want, you call me and ask. Yeah, but I said, and I told her the same thing. I said, don't take this wrong because I'll explain to you. I said, but you and I will never be competition because we are never going to shoot the same thing.
I don't think that really any two photographers are competition these days because I have learned that everybody's style is so different, and you really develop like your own style where your photos kind of all are kind of the same sort of. I have another photographer coming in this afternoon who is also a boudoir photographer. Yeah. And that's what I am. And he and I shoot so differently.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And fashion is such a world of, especially with the models. Every model that you get is going to be so different.
Everybody's got their own signature stance or their signature lean or whatever.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely. And like
have you ever had, what's your worst experience with the modeling, shooting models? Like, have you ever had a bad situation? Like what should models coming into you know not to do?
Well, it's not even know not to do, but a model. So I'm going to direct you on how to pose, but I'm not going to tell you what exactly to do. You're the model, you're modeling. And on the other hand, I'm going to be the one who's going to know how I want to capture it in the back of the camera. So I'll take care of the behind the camera stuff. You take care of the in front of the camera stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I let them
That's a
know
good way
that.
to look at it.
But I'm also the type person where I'll shoot a set of whatever, and then I'll be like, come and look, and I let them review it in the back of the camera. And then if a model's like, oh, can I stand like this and do this? Absolutely. You know what I mean? Yeah, because we're done with what I wanted to do, kind of. And yeah, let's see what you want to. And a lot of times the way they want to do it, they know that they want to do a different angle or they want to stand a different way.
Yeah,
And it pops the picture.
Seen that. Models have
So
said
it's fun to do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's fun to let them give you their outlook. But I always tell them the same thing. I'm like, look, I'm going to shoot my stuff. I'm going to show you every time we're doing things. And then you tell me what you want to do. If you want to stand against that tree instead of this tree, or you want to sit instead of stand, or climb on a tree and sit in the branch. I don't care, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But as far as bad, I don't think I'm sure over the years, but they don't stick in my brain. But I'm sure I've had, your terror models.
Because some of them can be a little finicky.
Well, a lot of them can be finicky, and then a lot of them, the problem is a lot of them, they think because they call themselves a model, they are, and they've only been in front of a camera twice. That doesn't constitute being a model.
Yeah.
So you need to learn that.
Yeah.
And
so listen to your photographers, especially if they've been doing it,
your photographer is going to do nothing but give you
let them help.
Good advice.
Let them help.
And what you call it? I have a bad tooth in my head. I don't know if you can get it from there or not, but I can tell my breath probably smells a little.
Oh, give me one too. Do you have another one?
Yeah. My
I've been drinking coffee all morning.
I'm actually doing surgery on Friday.
You are?
Yeah, I got to get 2 teeth. Yeah.
That sucks.
One, my doctor got half of it out, so like half of what's an old root canal tooth is in there. So yeah, that's it.
Man, I hate teeth things. Teeth things and eye things.
And I have the most phenomenal teeth. My teeth are like concrete. And that's why he couldn't get it out, so I had to go to the what's called the surgeon guy. But yeah, I think it's also the photographer's outlook on things. If you come into it because my whole thing is, at the end of the day, when I say, did you have fun today? I want a yes.
Oh, yeah.
And that's my thing. I want everybody to have fun. So I shoot.
It should be. That's what it's all about, right?
I shoot a lot of, I was involved. I was actually the official photographer for a few years for a local pageant system, they call it.
That's what I wanted to bring up too. You don't shoot much boudoir.
I don't shoot any boudoir.
Because you shoot kids and
Correct.
pageants and
Correct.
Sometimes having the variety of boudoir on your page,
right.
People who are bringing children to you kind of frown upon that a little bit. I found that, and I found just how to separate it. Yep. But
you have to separate it.
Mike does a lot of
me personally. I don't shoot it, but I do a lot of kid models. I do a lot of teen models.
Yeah,
I do a lot of the kids, and then they were kids when I started shooting them. Not first year of college, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
And the parents like the idea that little Julie could go on her little Instagram with her friends or my page to look for her photos. And she's not going to stumble across anything she's not supposed to see.
Yep.
And the moms and the dads, for that matter, they love that idea.
Yep.
Because they don't have to worry about their kid, because they're not looking for that. They're just looking for their pictures to show their friends, and they don't want them to see whoopses.
Yep. You know what I battle with constantly is, do you think as a photographer, should you niche yourself down? You guys have all heard that expression, find a niche, find a niche. I'm so
I don't think so.
I like so many different genres that I find it so hard to niche myself down. I do call myself, I like to call myself a portrait photographer.
Right.
But boudoir is tough to fit into.
You can't, because what happens is this. If you call yourself a lamp photographer, somebody who wants to do family portraits is not going to come to you because they're like, oh, she does lamp photos. Or let's go with the thing. So you're a boudoir.
Yeah.
So, oh, she does boudoir. She probably doesn't shoot families. And this is the way people think. It's like,
that's
I can shoot anything I put in front of my camera. I can shoot a water bottle in front of my camera. It doesn't matter what, because I do product photography sometimes. I do graphic arts too, so I've done a number of national artists and local artists. Their CD covers. Now the national artists, my brother actually shoots them in California, sends me the photos, and then I make everything else out of those. I'll edit the photos, rework the photos, do all kinds of stuff with them. And then I have local artists that I'll shoot them in different places here and do their album covers and, you know, CDs or whatever you call it nowadays. But yeah, you never want to, I don't think you ever want to call yourself a specific photographer, because then when that family does want to come to you, or, you know, there's not a photographer in the world that can't shoot a cake smash. You put a piece of plastic on the floor, you put the kid in front of the thing with the cake and let them have at it and have fun. But if you're a boudoir photographer, they go, oh, maybe she doesn't shoot children. So you can't narrow yourself down. You have to let everybody know you kind of shoot a little bit of everything. Because you're
I mean, there's things that I don't like to shoot. Like, I don't like to shoot children.
I don't.
And I don't like to shoot weddings.
I'm not a wedding person.
Are there things that you don't like to shoot?
I'm the same way. Weddings are not like, not that I don't like to shoot them. It's just that it's not my thing. I do, when I shoot weddings, I always get phenomenal feedback from people that see the pictures. Just angles and things I do. And I do a lot of the black and white, and I'll color the flowers kind of junk. But I'm like, I was shooting a wedding, and this one girl, she's going, oh, I'm Joanne's best friend. We grew up together. We were in elementary school together. And, oh, we've spent our whole lives together. You should shoot from here, and don't forget to do this. And she's like hanging on my shoulder the whole time. So finally I turned around and I looked at her. I says, so...
Because I'm a photographer, you know.
Well, no, I asked her. I said, so you guys have been friends all your lives? Yeah. Grew up together from babies? Yep. And now you're adults? Yep. So why aren't you up there in one of those pretty dresses standing next to her?
Oh, good
That's what I asked the girl. That's what I asked the girl. Do you know, I don't know if she left or I just didn't see her the rest of the day. And I was like, well,
she got
that
off your
was
shoulder
easy.
anyway.
That was easier than I thought it was going to be. And I didn't even have to be cranky about it.
Right.
But weddings, like I said, I'll shoot weddings for friends kind of thing, but I'm not a big wedding photographer. I do enjoy doing them, but I don't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's fun. For me, it's kind of fun because I don't do them all the time. I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, me personally, and I mean, there's no secret about it because everybody knows, but anytime anybody approaches me at weddings, I send them right to Dino.
Yeah. Dino Petrocelli, the man
Dino
to go to for
Petrocelli
weddings.
he is, no doubt.
This place is full of beautiful photographs that he's done for weddings. So we're going to get him in here on the show one of these days.
And he is also the same thing. You know, he's not a wedding photographer. You know, like the other night, he had a shoot the other night, and it was basically by invite. So he got in touch with a handful of photographers, and we went over and we shot a jet, and he's already released some of his photos.
Yeah, I can see those
I put
on
up 3.
Facebook. Yeah,
I put 3 up the other day.
That was pretty cool. That shoot.
And
I'm not a plane person. Like I don't know anything about planes, but yeah, that was.
You know, because we're there during just prior to dusk. So every 7 minutes, the light is changing. So we had to change the lights. We had to do this. We had to do that.
Yeah. That's what I mean about lighting.
And people don't realize that because they don't see it in the photo.
Yep.
But we literally had, so he had, I think he had 5 flashes set up. And then he had 2 or 3 of his LED flat screen lights set up. And then I brought my larger ones. I had those set up. So we literally had probably 15 lights, because then we had lights in the tube where the intake was, and for the turbine of the jet part. And then we had lights coming from the back of the plane to light the back up a little bit. So, you know, and people don't realize.
People don't see that. There's a lot of work that goes into
to get into
outside photography.
And unfortunately, I didn't have any control for the flashlights and stuff because he had flashes and everything set up. I would have loved to borrow somebody's thing. And I thought about it afterwards. It was goofy because there was a girl shooting right next to me. I could have borrowed hers and shot with a flash. But I got some fun stuff. But like you said, though, and I said, you know, people don't understand what it is. You don't just stand there and we shoot. And especially when you're shooting something like that, an item, a car, a truck, a bike, a jet. It isn't just there and then you shoot it.
Right.
you have to.
You've got to
your lighting.
creatively put it together
Oh, my God.
and light it, and
then you take 15 pictures, and then you got to move the lights.
yeah, yeah,
You know.
yeah. What's
yeah,
the
it's
most
fun. It's
creative shoot that you ever did or came up with, or?
Probably my favorite one, I think. So I shoot fire performers. I've been shooting them for about probably 12, 13, 14
Like
years.
people that twirl fire?
They spin fire. They're professional fire performers. And they practice down at the Jennings Landing, where the 11.5s are done, on Tuesday nights. It's welcome to the public. You want to go sit, grab bring a little basket with you or something. Speaking of my favorite shot.
I know. We're talking about Mike's
My favorite shot.
And I knew when I brought this up what
Great
he was going to talk about. So the model in this favorite shot
is Ray. I'm going to give her a hug too.
is Miss Tracy Simone, who is here with us today.
What's up?
You smell good.
Come on in. He's going to tell his story. Have a seat here. This is the beautiful, lovely, talented Tracy Simone, who has shot
incredible
with Mike.
Tracy Simone.
Yeah.
And we've been friends for years. We've been shooting for years. So Tracy wanted to shoot with her brother's motorcycle, and it ended up not starting. So she still brought all her stuff, and we set up here. We got everything nice, and she told me, I want to get some phenomenal shots, but I don't know what I want to do. So I had my friend Steven come over, who's a fire performer, and he's got an actual fire whip. So what he did was he dipped about 4 feet of it in the fuel, and he's small. He's short, petite guy. So we actually were right outside this door. So Tracy stood there. He stood right behind her, lit it, and then he took it and he did a circle with the flame. So because
I saw these pictures, and they're killer.
It's been on 2 covers of 2 different magazines, which is cool. And the way the flame came out, it wasn't just one steady. You had like a flame and then a space, and then a big area of flame and then a space, and a little area of flame. And I had lit Tracy in the middle, and we took like 4 or 5 shots, and the one came out just phenomenal. Everything was so perfect. And I know her head exploded.
Tracy, were you nervous about working with the fire?
No.
He wasn't that close to her.
The coolest thing. He was the nicest guy.
Oh, isn't he though?
And it was
Steven's
out in the
awesome.
dark. I
Yep.
said, what are you guys doing? Yeah, I heard the dark was going on.
Right.
But
Yep.
No, it was really fun. It was really
It was a
cool.
real, and as far as creativity wise, that really came out the way I wanted it to.
Yeah.
That was probably one. And then I have another one that I shot, another girl, Mika Ann, her name is, and I shot her in a abandoned building over in Troy, and she had to work, so she couldn't get there till night. It literally was so dark, couldn't see from me to you. I had to walk her in with a flashlight, have her hang out there for a minute. She put her flashlight on her phone so she wouldn't be in the pitch dark. I went back out and got my stuff, brought it in, and lit her, and that ended up also being cover of a magazine.
I didn't see that one.
And I lit
That
her
sounds cool.
with purple. I'll show you later after that.
Huh.
And so that came out incredible. That whole shot came out because the one scene I did her with purple, and then I had another scene where I lit her with red. So my LED lights are RGB. So RGB means a spectrum. So you can tell them any color you want or straight light. So I lit her 3 different colors in the 3 different spots we shot.
Sweet. Again, creativity.
And again, creativity, you could not see. Like I said, we wouldn't have been able to see each other there. That's how dark it was.
Nice.
And those shots came out incredible.
Yeah.
I was
definitely got to show me
And
those.
the fun thing is, and people don't realize, for us with the creative minds, when we're all done, and that picture comes out even better than what we expected it to come out.
Yeah.
Even before you even, like this picture outside.
That fires us up.
Even before I edited it, when we looked at it in the camera, we all, Steven's who's now his wife, we all were like, I cannot believe how that came out. And I'm like, listen though, that's what I just shot. Wait until I hit a little vibrance on the flames, and she had a colorful outfit on, so I vibranced that out a little bit. I cleared her up a little more than what the flame was. And by the time the edit came out, It was just a crazy photo.
Because when we're looking in the back of the camera, we're like,
I like
oh, because we know
what it's going to look like
we're gonna do
later,
with it.
and that's the fun part.
Yeah,
That's the fun part.
Mike, what is your? How can people get in touch with you? Do you have a website?
So,
do you have a Facebook
I do.
page? Tell them.
I have it all. So, webpage is mapgraphicsphotos.com. Just no periods, no dots or anything. Just mapgraphicsphotos.com. And then I have Instagram is, again, MAP Graphics, Instagram.com/MAP Graphics. Facebook is the same thing, Facebook.com MAP. If you're going to search me on Facebook, you have to search it M.A.P.Graphics. Capital letters MAPG. So capital MAP with the dots in the middle. And then that'll come up for the social media stuff and everything. But like I said,
Easy to remember. Map Graphics.
Yep, I shoot everything. I shoot it all. I shoot indoors. I shoot outdoors. And I tell everybody, and everybody when they do come, even like other photographers to come shoot with me, to just come and see what this place is. This literally, and I have no other way to describe it other than this is heaven. I mean, so this is a young lady that's been modeling for a long time, and when have you seen a studio like this? We're going to
talk to her on the next episode, so you need to stay tuned. I brought her in because she has shot with Mike before.
So this studio is
not here. I've shot with Mike.
Yeah. And we've shot. We shot by the barns with her Corvette. The barns that I showed you. So we parked. Oh my! In front of those doors.
Yep.
That was an awesome shot. And then we brought it around by the white fence for the for the corral. And we got a lot of really cool stuff that day too.
Nice.
That was a blast.
Nice. Mike, it was great talking to you today.
Thanks for having me. It was
so
fun.
Much. Yeah.
And it's always fun. We see each other anyway because I always pop in and out of here.
Yeah, absolutely. He's always around the studio. And we will see you on the next round of the Photo Forum at Petroselli Studio.
Enjoy.
Have a great night, everybody.
Have a great time.